our request, I should thank him for giving us an opportunity to listen his experiences, and that too during this new normal now, where he is actually participating in various forums across nation. He's a multi-talented personality. If you could have seen the invite, the details, speaker details, you can see various field he has gone through. So he's a war veteran as well. So he was in water for quite some time. I think now he is on land. So on land also he is doing a lot of great wonders, and he is a very respectful personality in the industry. So he shared many such forums where environment health, employee health safety things are getting discussed. So recently also he was gone for a session on a larger forum. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to listen to him, and in this current situation, so how we need to get ready to go back to the offices. So I think with his rich experience, we'll try to learn from him. So with this small introduction, because already a lot of things are already there in the invite, and you can get to know him through the LinkedIn link as well. So before he actually starts with his topic for today, I would request Sharfoddin Bhai to briefly take us through your journey in the military, and from military to the IT industry transitioning. Please go ahead. Over to you, Sharif Bhai. Jazakallah.
Yeah, Shukriya. Am I audible?
Yeah, very much. You are visible and audible.
Yeah, Bismillahi, Alhamdulillah, Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Rabbi Sharli Sadri, Vaisirli Amri, Wahlul Uqdatun Milisani, Rafkahu Qawli, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, Biradarani, brothers and sisters, first of all, this is an honor and an opportunity given by the MFRD to having me here to talk about the new normal. I mean, first of all, I think Shahid Bhai asked me to speak about my journey, but it's already known to you all. So I think we will not go into that once again. And I would like to start the session. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think you all are aware that the kind of times we are all in actually. Today's my topic actually, I would definitely not only that the new normal we'll talk about, but also would like to, because I think most of us are working from home, and not only working, it's a new normal is not working from home anywhere, it's working from anywhere. So probably that perspective also, I would like to use my 4 slides presentation on ergonomics also, that's after new normal, because that will be a takeaway for you, all of you, because at the end of the day, when you are working from home, your productivity, the company is expecting, but at the same time, you need to be, I mean, the ergonomics can make it, and mark your health, it can take a toll on your health. So I think there are a few tips which you can talk about it. That's also, I think I added. So gentlemen, I'll just share my presentation. Is it visible? Is the screen visible?
Not yet.
No. Not yet. Okay, let me just once. I'm sharing it now.
It's still not come on.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Right. Is it visible now?
No.
Just a minute. I think you may have to make me host, right, to share my screen.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I did share that. Just 1 second. Share. Yeah.
yeah. Now we can see.
Thank you.
You can put in presentation mode in.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, it's good now.
It's clear? Yeah.
Jazakallah. Yeah, good. Great.
So, what we are going to discuss briefly today, basically on the challenges, on the workplace preparations, people aspects, and way forward, actually. So, I mean, we all are aware, actually, when we talk about a change. 1 second. Yeah. So, when I'm talking for a new normal, it is not that, simply you can, adapt yourself. But when you talk about in a change, adapting change and embracing change, it's not the strongest of the persons and the species that survives. That's a saying. Not the most intelligent that survives. It's the one here. So adapt now. You need to be. It's because change is the only thing which is constant. We keep evolving ourselves. So that's the need of the hour. You need to adapt and change to the new normal. So when we talk about that, what are the what's I mean in the COVID, I don't want to, because we have so much of information floating around in the COVID. We know about what it is and how it has spread. If I had to talk about technically, presently we are in a pandemic stage 4 in a community transmission level. That is from the WHO norm. WHO, if you see, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. Stage 5 is the recovery phase. So we are not fully recovery phase. I can say that it's in a community transmission. In a very, very precarious situation for all of us, presently which we are going through. So when we talk about, see, at the same time, I think we all will, at the beginning, we all had a lot of uncertainties, and then we also thought after some time, then the offices have to, roll in and start working on that. So I think most of us, and I'm mostly talking in an IT perspective, but it is also applicable to the general people also. So we need to also, contribute at the same time to the organizations which we are working. So the organizations have, quickly embraced the working from home, and I think that there is a huge amount of the readiness which the companies have enabled us. But at the same time, what's it going on to the each human being? The first of all, then after some time we all are enabled, starting from 90 to 95%. If you see the industry work from home, starting from TCS, it is almost 90 to 95%. I'm just giving an example, but in an average it is 70 to 80%. I think they're all working from home, only except for the manufacturing industry. I think all the IT and IT enabled services, we are able to deliver the services. At the same time, there are some critical aspects where we need to go and deliver. There are some customer the firewalls, which say there are some which they have some communication level this thing protocols, where for them to everything they can't share it or cannot be carried to home. So there are times where we need to also go to office. So in this the entire pandemic, when we were trying to grapple ourselves and then come to the terms, and then we are all knowing that it's that going outside and working, even in an office, working in an office for 1 week continuously is a risky thing affair. That's the stage which we are actually. So how do we prepare? So I mean, it's both for the companies and for the the people, those who are working. I thought I'll let's touch upon. So first of all, when we talk about all of us, the human aspect, we need to address it. Fear of getting back to office. How is that? How the offices are getting ready? We are not aware actually. That window is unknown to us actually. So that's the thing which I try to give a glimpse of that. How the offices are getting ready. This is an industry, like, because I've been from the administration and facilities, I know what's happening around and how the offices are getting ready, and so that you will have kind of an assurance. The assurances companies are taking in a different levels. I'll talk about that also actually. So it's a paranoid about meeting people and touching anything, because whatever the WhatsApp university knowledge what we have, it's all there are so many things, some of them good and some of them actually not correct. So the stigma of coronavirus being in quarantine, it's that because the stigma has not yet gone, though it's a curable, not to be worried. It's the recovery rate is more than 85 to 90%. But there is a lot of stigma, that's where, that's slowly, I think mentally, kind of, you are, sometimes you're grappling with that actually, then, when you are being asked to quarantine. So the trauma of loss of a family member or a colleague, that also, that I think for the last 6 months, we did, have, lost. We have seen some of our colleagues, some of our family members, I think we have lost. It's a fact. It's a known fact. But that doesn't mean that, I mean, it's not that fatal, but the aura around, or the, the miscommunication, I should say that, or the, the stigma around, which is making it more, vulnerable actually. So being left out, from the work or the office, that also, for the long time, when you're going back, that aspect also we need to keep in mind. So what companies are typically, have to do, or what, if you are in human resources, for example, or and if you are an associate also, what is that to be expected? So communication, positive communication plays an important role. So the constant caring and creative communication is the key. So not only you should expect from an organization, but also if you are representing some organization from the HR point of view, you should be, very importantly, communicating very positively. Mandatory induction before getting back to office. This might look as a simple one-liner. The induction includes the leadership team visiting before you go and, to the office. I have seen the first leadership team, they have come, and we as the FM, industry, we are already there. Our critical staff is already working. So the leadership team has come and seen, they go, saw the arrangements, and then, then they go and communicate back to the associates. I know that, really, makes, because leader has to lead by example, not only, but, in writing, in action also. I think that's what, that across the industry, the leaders are doing it. Also when you go to a floor coordinator or the floor pandemic coordinator, which I'll talk about later. So virtual connect with the associates prior to joining, which is very important. I think the companies are doing it. If you are a decision maker, you should, after that, displaying of do's and don'ts at workplace. This, when you go, I show those some of the photographs how a new workplace looks like that. I think this, and because in a new norm, in a new, I should not use social distancing. Man is a social animal, but I think physical distancing is an important aspect when you go there. So mailers, I think by this time you would have already got it. We are already down. I mean, that's the stage which we are. But today, there's some of the aspects which will, I'm sure there will be some takeaways when we complete the session today. So floor connects and spread. See, I have seen practically when we started operations in June, I have seen people have, come and very, very scary when they came on the day one. But I think the reassurance that we gave, the reassurance includes the facilities, what, they're going to see, the induction, what we are going to conduct. Before that is an virtual induction you can conduct, and a third party due diligence, which I was telling. I mean, not all the companies can afford. If third party like a Deloitte or somebody, there are some team leads, there are some teams who coming and doing a COVID due diligence. If you get, I think that actually, because if I'm saying I'm good, that's not sufficient for the associate. If company says we are good, there might be some kind of an uncertainty to the associate. But if you say that our company is being checked, or the, a due diligence or done from the third party, that gives a, assurance to. So the return to office becomes more smooth actually. So then it's staying at home when you're not feeling well. This is the most important things people have done mistake. I've seen people have reported to office at elevated temperatures. I don't know why they were doing that. What is the compulsion? The organizations have given you, and there are very in the new normal. If you are not well, please, I think your HR will support. Don't attempt to come to office. You're not only putting you in risk, I think you're also putting entire your, other association to risk. So what are the challenges for that? So the business, if you see that we all are working, some of the organizations. So what is from the business point of view? What is that, they have? So there is, it's, the contagious nature of the virus. So that at the back of the mind, each business, when they want to start the return to office program, they know that the contagious nature of this business. I mean, this virus, the COVID-19, and everyone is in a WhatsApp university professor. So when you naturally, when you want to create an awareness also, they would have known something, but they would have known something correct and something wrong also. So that's a perception you need to manage. and the chances of a double crisis. Are we prepared? Just imagine we have an office in Vizag or anywhere in Hyderabad or anywhere else. If I'm hit by a double crisis, what is the double crisis? Going through a stage 4 pandemic on COVID, if flooding comes, I mean, because of the monsoon. So just imagine the kind of, if an earthquake in Hyderabad, of course, in Hyderabad will not have floods. I'm just telling, if an earthquake comes, just imagine how will we handle both the crises? Are we ready? So that's the thing which the companies need to talk about and think about it. Changing behaviors from compliance to culture for employees and vendor staff. Important things, there are very important compliances. For example, our every vehicle, when it comes out, goes in, we are doing a breath analyzer check for the driver. So that's a compliance. It's a RTO compliance. But now we have stopped it for time being, because the breath analyzer, you need to blow the air. So there is a chance of we have an infection there. So I have an example. So we need to be compliant at the same time. Cultural shift, how we have to be in compliant and how we can ask the associates to change. So not my job attitude. All companies face this problem. If you are asked, I mean, like you think that this is not my job. Most of them, you and me, I'm also included in them. But how that attitude, I think probably we need to wear different hats. The new normal, we are not only just supposed to go and work and come back. You need to wear different hats. For example, if they're asking you to be an ambassador to take care of floor, if you are a senior and if you're asked to be an ambassador, floor ambassador, ensure social distancing, ensure the all time they're wearing masks. That kind of different hats you need to wear. You need to be mentally prepared for that. Upskilling oneself and pandemic and health aspect. I mean, upskilling in a sense, you are aware what is happening. You should be knowing the mailers which are coming, the company, the WHO websites, and also business. When you do the virtual conferences, very important. When you do, I have seen a virtual meeting was happening. All 4 are there in a one single laptop. So you are attending a virtual meeting, and all 4 or 5 are in a very close proximity. That is not. That's what I'm saying. How you need to adapt and upskill yourself. That cultural change we are talking about. So increased compliance burden. So any companies that for making a return to office program we need to put in place, companies have to incur that additional burden, starting from the health the scanning machines onto the the increased frequency of cleaning to the common touch points. It's an increased compliance burden actually. Keeping the pace with the latest developments and notifications, very, very important. When we talk about the clean and hygienist and what to allow, up to what level. Suppose that, for example, we have started very slowly. Presently, it was only, they asked us to start with only 5%. Then they talked about only morning 9 to 5. Then they started or in the evening, and that's called we need to be aligned to the MHA. The Minister of Home Affairs is the overall nodal body, which is actually giving us, as I'm talking to you, we are almost MHA guidelines 1, 2, 3, and then unlock 1, 2, 3, 4. All that's the kind of journey which we have followed. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare also a nodal body, and the WHO is a site where you can go and clear your myths. There are so many myths I think we all had. Whenever you find time, go to WHO. The beautiful site they made it, and a lot of certifications also. I think those who are FM professionals in this, and any doctors, they can definitely have some courses done from the WHO. They are free of cost. So budgets during and after pandemic or even COVID compliance. If you are having a business or for the company, there are times. These are the times where we have compliance burden. You have to ensure that all the pandemic compliances are in place. That's the budget you need to plan for that. So because the insurance also, I think we are also talking about insurances being enhanced. I think some of the companies have already done that, and they have tied up with. So you must have also got a mail, and you must have contributed, but the contribution may be only part, but I think the bigger end is the organizations have to tie up with them to have a better package in case of a home quarantine, and in case of a positive case, there is a I think a separate COVID insurance which has come in place, as that is also an important piece which we need to remember. The mock drills and the ERT management. See, when you are working in any offices, most of the offices are in high rise actually. What is high rise building? High rise building is any building which is about 15 meters. So most of us, our buildings are more than 15 meters high. So when we are talking, and that all our corporates work in a very, very most professional manner. All our buildings are safe, and they are all designed to national building codes. And we also do a mandatory evacuation once in 6 months. But at this point of time, during the COVID time, when the social distancing is a new norm and the 6 feet is a new norm, so we will not be able to do that. So how do we redefine that? Because at the same time, I need to create an awareness to the associate how they can evacuate in case of an emergency, because there can be emergency, fire or flooding. So that's an important piece. I think the organizations will be having a challenge. And this is the, I am aware, but I will not comply. This is, I have seen that people have come with so much of awareness. We have sent the mailers, we have sent, there was a communication from HRs, but ultimately when they were in meetings, they were not complying. That's the, and the workplace readiness. So I just come to that now, how the workplaces are looked. Please be remember that in the beginning, I think the month of April, May, lot of disinfection tunnels. People wanted to, even including our DHL has also come out. Coming out of a disinfection tunnel is not bad, but the spraying of that chemical on a human being is not at all acceptable. It's in a sodium hypochlorite, which is not at all good for your skin, your eyes. I know that's the people earlier. I think we have seen some human beings also coming out of this tunnel. So if at all you are not aware, please discourage and tell that it is not at all. It's even the the guidelines are also saying those tunnels are not acceptable, not approved. So we cannot use for any human beings. However, you can use this tunnel for disinfecting your cars and all. Cars, two-wheeler. If the person is there, you cannot. Okay. So MHA guidelines, few guidelines I'll just talk about. Not all, because there are so many guidelines which have come. Face mask mandatory, of course, and the mask that I'm talking about, when it's again WHO, so it is not mandatory to the mandatory. I think so much. I think we have also journey was so long, but now the mask definitely prevents, not eliminates. I'm again using very carefully the word. So all the infections, it will definitely prevents, and you can by maintaining the requisite distance and having a proper mask with a nose pin properly. That's very important. So then even the face mask, usable or the reusable masks which are coming with a proper nose clip, that's you have to buy. And no breathing. There is some walls which are coming which are not at all acceptable, which we cannot control any infection, viral load. It cannot, it can filter through. So don't use any walls, any non-written walls. So that's not required. Simple mask with a proper pin and proper coverage. And N95, please, N95, leave it for health professionals. Just because we can afford to buy a N95, let us not do that, because they have a lot of the challenges. Some of the organizations, they are the medical health center, government, they are not getting a stocks of N95. The health professional, those who are attending the patients, the patient himself, they can wear when they are going to the hospital and all, but not a normal person. The N95, leave it for the special occasions actually. So Arogya Setu app, so you all are aware, the central government has come up with a mandatory requirement to download the Arogya Setu app, which we all have downloaded. So that Arogya Setu app compliance, there are 16 screens in that 16 screens. So all the 15 screens, including positive, they will not be allowed. First one screen, which green tick mark, and you are not having any infection, then only you will be allowed. So Arogya Setu app, just go through whenever you are having time. So it's very easy. It will pick up your surroundings and whatever the data you enter, the GPS coordinates and the Bluetooth, it should be on, and then it will give you how much you are far away from any other infections, what is your area, all those things. So this is and your address, I'm sure you will be entering it very sincerely, because the organizations will otherwise track. So social distancing of 6 feet, this we all know by this time. That's again the word social distancing. Please use it very carefully. So gatherings and meetings, not more than 5 people. I think there are so many. I think we have come a long way now. So still, I think some of them think best practices we will have to. Now, even as I speak to you today, the gymnasiums are being opened. Schools are being opened from 9th onwards with a parents' consent. Our parent don't want to send. I think we can. I know we should not. And already the interstate buses have already started. So we are at that stage. But other state, the WHO says we are in a community. Even the state government, Telangana government has agreed that we are into a community transmission stage. So we need to be, taking care of our own things. So recommend and conducting business meeting virtually, very important. We're already doing that for the last 6 months. Thermal scannings for the, when you come inside, all companies will do the temperature checks. That's very important. That's temperature check is not COVID, not a guarantee that you are eliminated the person with the COVID symptom. It's not. We are just checking symptomatically. Fever is one of the symptoms, because there are 75% cases which are asymptomatic. But however, These kind of a small eliminations will make workplace more safe. So thermal scannings will be there by default in any organization, and frequent sanitation, very important. This FM industry is aware of that. They are using all the best of the chemicals and all the frequent touch points like door handles, knobs, lift buttons, all these places, and your workstation, door on knobs, everywhere there is a the frequency of cleaning has been increased already. It's a mandate. Stay at home if you are not required. If at all, as we are all staying home, but as we are getting ready to prepare office, we can definitely make our mind and we can go. But that's what I am saying. One week I'll come to that, how we can go to the office again, be safe. I'll talk about that actually. Transport with social distancing. This is very important piece. You must have seen when we started, there was only one person can go. Then after that, and I think we had MHA guideline, only 2 persons. And then now when we started going, there are some screens which the companies are using. But if it is a plastic screen, I think they will emit the VOCs. There is some acrylic sheets they are supposed to use. The guidelines are still not very clear. But if you are having any kind of a temperature, or if you're not feeling well, please avoid going to office. Please don't take an office cab. As such, office cabs are starting wherever the starting point, they are checking your temperature, and of course with you are being masked. So it's better stay at home. Once again, I'm telling, not if you are having a temperature or an elevated temperature, you will be definitely be found with various measures we are having. So medical insurance, as it already I spoke to you, you did check with your HR. So how is that? If it is not already there, you can always check with them. Lifts, again, I think I'll show some photographs. Elevators, we can no more go with all the full crowded because you are getting late for the login. No, there's a new world altogether when you go to office. I think some of you already would have gone and seen. If it is a capacity of 4 people, it will be only 2 you will go. If it is a 4 and above also, it will be only 4 people. That's how it will be. Intensive communication and training, that's very important. I think that's happening in the background. And also how to use the mask and how to dispose also, we can talk about it. So violates to face legal action. See, as I speak to you, some of the companies already, the labor department, they have visited for checking because the offices have started. So it's a compliance also. So internally, if you're not, we are also always in mask, and always all the social distancing, people are coming and asking, and if any elevated temperature cases, any positive cases, we are all back and we are reporting. So the compliance, please respect that, and be there according to that. Otherwise, please don't go. So of course, masks are compulsory. We already spoke on that. So social distancing, I think it's a very, very important thing. Not only here, I saw other day, when I was on a Muharram day, I was just passing through from Nampally. We just, when we go out also, we just go in a car and come out. I mean, otherwise you can't go in a restaurant as such, no such thing. But I saw there's a very big line for Subhan Bakery roads, and then a lighter way, and I'm telling. So there was no social distancing much there. Still, people were in mask, but no 6 feet there. So what I'm trying to say is, in a professional environment, such non-compliances are not acceptable actually. So when you go to office, the office might look like this. The chairs which you are standing, so you're sitting and having your breakfast, you can only one person at one desk, you can sit like that. Okay. So the offices would look like this, and some of you, those who are not gone, so it will be entirely a new world there altogether. The washrooms will, there will be a gap of 1, and an elevator, this is an elevator photograph in the below, only 4 people facing towards the wall, facing towards the elevator wall. So you cannot be facing, between persons, you have to face on the walls. That's how we are able to, prevent. So the important guideline on the questions I'll take off. Okay. Important guidelines on PSC. Very, very important. This is because when we go to an office, we all know that in an air conditioning environment, the return air plays an important role. Because it's nothing but your air conditioning, only a 15%, 10 to 15% fresh air in a normal condition. And then the rest of is being filtered. But in a new norm, can we go on mute? I think somebody is talking.
Yeah, could you please?
Gentlemen, you should be knowing, and your facilities team would have done, but if you can always ask them. We all, India follows ISHRE guidelines. Indian Society of Heating and Ventilation. Okay, so we are having Sept. It's a sister concern of ASHRE, American Society of Heating and Ventilation. So the MHA guidelines very clearly laid down, and we are not supposed to have the 24 degrees plus or minus 1. That kind of comfort you might not have, because the viral load will be more if you are having 24 plus or minus 1. So the guidelines very clearly tells that we should maintain the temperature between 26 plus or minus 2 with 100% fresh air ventilation. That means that you will be filtering it, of course, but you cannot use the return air. You must almost, you can close it. So that is the kind of, while fresh air is coming continuously, you will have your electricity bill will come out, because you are conditioning continuously, you are conditioning the fresh air. But that is the new norm requirement. It's a guideline very clearly has come from MHA, and all your offices are compliant. In case you want to check also, you can check with your team. That's what I just, so I will skip this. On each vertical, there are already the preparations are in place. Food is not being served at, in cafeterias. Packed food will be served at your desk, and it's soft service high, very high frequency. And I told in engineering, HVAC is already, as I talked about it, everything is being, taken care. They have done all the cleanings, and all the, the sanitation has been done at that places. Transport, as we already spoke on that, transport compliance is how you have to be. Vehicles are being asked to sanitize every day, and it is being ensured. And MNC, if you have an elevated temperature during the day, you are all medical health centers. You are immediately supposed to report, and you will not be taken to medical health center. Your manager will take you to the quarantine area. That is the requirement, MHA requirement. Every facility, when they are starting, they will be having a quarantine or the holding area near to the gate itself. Because if a person comes with the temperature, you will not go to the workplace. So that's why a quarantine area need to be created, and you should know you will be taken to the quarantine area, and then from there to your home. That's why it's better avoid going. I saw people coming by taking paracetamol, and then during the day they develop temperature. Let us not do that. Not sure why, what was the requirement for such person to come actually. Supply chain, of course, every laptops, what we are getting from outside, all the materials are being sanitized when they're, that's kind of the assurance. So what's we saw the glimpse of the workstations. So no shaking of hands without saying, and you are also seeing that cricket series is how they are, I think with the bio bubble, and they are starting, they are not even, greeting, they're greeting with only knuckles. Okay. So no chai pe charcha. It's very important. We all love that, having an Irani chai, and then have a very nice discussion during our breaks. I think that is not in a new normal. So you can have your, of course, tea. I think tea and coffee will be made available. There are some, machines which are there, and also in the bigger organizations have put one person also. So in the new normal requirement, you should take your mug, you should take your own bottle, you should take your, everything's yours. Companies think only the water will be there, tea and coffee will be there. That is the way, that's the way you can, save. So your mug, you can always take. We used to carry our mug, right? Earlier, we can carry our own water bottle. And then there are some touchless operations which most of the companies have. So you can have your tea, but not in the, in a group. So no group lunches. I think that's already been stopped. So no birthday celebration without saying, and no one-on-one interviews closer than 6 feet, which I have seen there are some non-compliant. People were on the name of trainings. They were putting all some 10 or 15 people together and in a very closed room, and they were doing the training. Not acceptable. Okay. No smoking partner and no sharing. You know that when I talk about there are smoking areas, smoking zones. So we all have smoking buddies, So we go there and smoke. Those who are smokers knows that what I'm speaking. So no more those smoking sessions with few people there. You can have it separately again there. So queues everywhere. That's the point. I think lifts, key points, receptions, and that's a new norm actually. No carpooling. I think if you are doing it also, you know what type of precautions you are supposed to take. And cabs with a single passenger is always better. Oh, this is the one I was talking about. There's one more photograph here. So this is something which we already spoke about it. So when I'm talking about all these things, I am enabling you to go to office, but still we are working at home, right? So when I'm working from home, I think last 4 or 5 months we are working. So what is that? I will be, my productivity company is important. But if I'm not sitting, generally, typically we always think that my chair in office was good, at home I'm really facing problem. But in the bigger organizations, if you are lucky enough to be working in an organization where they have also given you a chair to home also, and you can ask for the chair, they are giving it. But not all the organizations can, afford. Not everybody can, get your chair from office. So not everybody can purchase the, such kind of ergonomic chair. Here, not required. If you have a reasonable chair, if you know how to sit, and because we have to sit on the long hours, do the coding, do the programming, attend meetings, so our health is taking toll here. So I would like to actually give few tips there. Very important, because that message I want to leave, how we should work from home when we are working from home. So I'm just going to that. Do I have another 10 minutes to cover the ergonomics session?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, because that is a takeaway I want to give. I'll just stop share and again I'll share it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, one second. So meanwhile, it's a. I mean, if I don't think any break required. Is that you can continue and finish it in 10 minutes?
Yeah, we should continue.
We can do that. Yeah, sure. Is it visible? This is that I was at a global conference day before yesterday. I presented an ergonomics for them actually. So I'm just using, this is my own deck. Okay. Okay. So gentlemen, the ergonomics, I mean, it's a literal sense. You'll also get Google it out. So ergonomics plays an important role when you are working for long hours and with not the right kind of environment at home. So ergonomics means fitting the job to the worker, because you need to fit yourself to the workstation, tools, or the equipment. Then environment, of course, the right kind of. These are all important requirements for you to be working in a very productive way. So what is the significance? So I think if you Google it out, and some of the doctors who are present here, they will agree that overexertion is the leading cause of injuries. That is actually made people to be at home and inaccessible to the work, and that can become sometimes costly also. This is called repetitive stress injuries, or the musculoskeletal disorders, MSDS. So recurring persistent pain may develop in future, and which you may have to be out of action if you're not sitting in the right way to then we'll talk about how to sit right way, what is the height of the chair, what is the height of the table, what is the distance of the laptop, all we will talk about that. Bodily reaction is another leading cause of injuries in workplace, very important. And repetitive motions, as we all work continuously, we use mouse, we repetitive jobs, a lot of repetitive jobs we do that. So that also one of the most common 10 most common workplace injuries actually. So the common work related musculoskeletal disorders are, so it's called, you must have heard about carpal tunnel syndrome, tennis elbow, which Sachin Tendulkar had. It's all part of musculoskeletal injuries actually. So most commonly where they will affect is the back, arms, elbows, shoulders, neck, hand, wrists, fingers, knees, ankles, and feet. It might look very simple things, right? But those who are working long hours, just imagine their stress levels, and if they are not sat properly and work, and definitely what I'm speaking about. So so methods of protecting against these musculoskeletal disorders: establish an ergonomic program. Basically, in office you would have established already. We all have established as an FM, as an EHS. We have done a lot of programs there. We are also conducting trainings, and now we started conducting home trainings also, because home assessment we are doing by asking associate to switch on his camera. We are asking to show his room, how his room is, how his chair is, how he is sitting. We are doing a workplace assessment also. Probably you can also, if not, this session will help you today. Not every company can do that one. Okay. So feedback from all levels is important. Conduct job hazards, that are JHS. That is what I told just now. Either it is in a workplace, an office, or at home. Also, we are doing a hazard analysis, and then early recognition, and controlling that actually. So these are the 10 tips which I will leave to you before I actually show for some of the photographs how to sit. So when you are working from home, please remember these things, which will go a long way. Okay. So don't hunch over your laptop. Actually, when you work like this, that's not when we are doing something serious. Typically, we tend to do that. I think now I'm sitting in properly to my back in the seat, and then I'm speaking for the last I think 20 minutes, more than that. So I need to take a break actually. So we'll take together when I come to 2020 rule. So so don't work at an appropriate height. Very, very important. Do work at an appropriate height. What is that height? I will show you in my next slide. Do use an office chair if possible. As I told you, some of the offices you can get your chair back. if possible, you can get that. Otherwise, I think we can, make use of whatever chair we have, but the right kind of posture. Don't give up on your current chair. That's what I was telling. So you, if possible, get your chair back. Don't let your feet dangle. I'm talking about the people, those who are less height. So we do a workplace correction at office by giving some, small stool or something like that. So for the people, those who are feet after whatever the height I'm showing, but still your feet is not there, you put some small table. So do follow 20-20-20 rule. So this is an important thing. I just built 2 minutes here. I am being a faculty in a Naval College of Engineering. I wanted to, sometimes the teaching faculty are always, some of you may be already professors and teachers in this meeting today. So there is a teaching learning philosophy called known to unknown. So if you tell the unknown thing and to the compare to already which students knows, I think the learning will be better. That is one of the teaching learning philosophy. So I'm just telling, when you talk about 2020, let's think about, Indians are very crazy about cricket. So 2020 match, 2020 cricket, 20 as such is a very easy number you can remember. So 2020, what is that actually? 20 minutes of work when you work, because for your longevity, I'm telling, take 20 seconds break by looking away from your screen. After 20 minutes of work, look away for 20 seconds at 20 feet distance. Every room may not be having 20 feet, but see as far as possible. 20 minutes, 20 seconds, 20 feet. Please don't forget about that. That will take us, all of us, in a good state. And also, this is 20-20 rule. And of course, once in at least 60 minutes, you should get up from your chair and you know what I'm saying. Just walk few steps until unless you are in a continuous call. But this will really help you out when you're working for long hours. So don't turn your couch into a work session. Whenever couch is for having watching your television or taking some leisurely calls and all, not for doing a proper work there. So never ever use your couch. Actually, do customize your space to fit. Very important when we all are working. We have, I think by this time we would have made our office like setup. If you are not made, I think you should actually try to make it as far as possible. Sometimes it may be a limitation for you, but make best use of your space available and ensure that ultimately the organizations are looking for productivity at the end of the day. So you should do best to keep yourself available, including your bandwidth and network. Otherwise, sometimes calls get dropped, not audible, and that is the first norm you should check, whether you are audible and whether you are able to see, and all those things are important, and so that your productivity people can see and appreciate that. Don't skip lunch, when make sure they don't directly start work and then go on up to 5-6. You should take a right kind of a breaks, which are very important. Keep yourself hydrated. So do make sure you get up and walk around. I just told already. So this is the thing I was talking about, an important slide. What is the height? Everybody will, we are definitely be thinking by this time, what should be my computer or the laptop height? Your eye contact should be on the top of your, laptop tip, that frame of that. You can see that arrow mark, and that distance should be 1 feet. I'll show that next slide. So because if you have that and the 15-degree below also, you can see very comfortably that the acute angle, what is there, it is a 15 degree. And your back and your shoulders should be at right angle. I mean, your legs and your body, you can see that there is a right angle, and your legs almost approximately right angle below. But you might ask, with the kind of height I am telling, 25 to 30 inches table and 16 to 20 inches of your chair, the seat where you sit, it might not touch. You can put your some of the one table, small table kind of a thing. That height be able to use. This is an important piece, and this deck. So stretching my hand, it is 1 hand distance. Arm's length. Your laptop or the desktop should be arm's length. And while sitting properly, that you're not sitting like in the left hand side. So all these 90 degrees almost. So that is left hand one. See how many places there will be a strain if you sit like that. So of course, ladies and you can also stand and work. And there are some, if there is a provision, if they stand and work. So I just thought I'll cover this, and I'm open for questions. Thank you. I'll review presentation.
MashaAllah. Jazakallah khairan kaseera. Awesome, Jaza. Wonderful session, MashaAllah, with a lot of rich content and information for us. That in the current situation is very much needed. Jazakallah for your time, big bye.
I think there's some.
Could you please repeat? Could you please repeat that 2020?
Yeah, 2020. Just I'm putting my 1 second. Let me just. The voices are coming. Let me use just a minute. Yeah, you can speak. Any questions?
No, I said, could you please repeat 2020?
Yeah. I think I'm seeing some questions over some. So any questions?
Sharif sir, hello.
Yes, now I think you are very clear. I think your voice.
Okay, Sharif sir, can you please repeat the rule for 2020? What is meant by that?
Okay, great. Okay, I was not able to hear. Every 20 minutes of work when you do on a laptop, and when you, there's screen time. I'm talking about screen time now. At every 20 minutes of screen time, you should look away from the screen 20 seconds and look up to 20 feet distance. Got it?
Yeah.
20 minutes of work. Every after 20 minutes of work, you are taking a break. Because your eyes is very important for long hours you're working, right? Look away for 20 seconds up to 20 feet distance. That's the rule.
And do you have some suggestions from getting up from the seat? How long should we sit? And we should take a walk after some time. Any suggestion for that also?
It's, 2 minutes break and walk in your room. That is more than enough. Just stretch your body, just stretch your body. Just towards right and left. That's more than enough. Because ultimately you should not be sitting more than 60 minutes continuously. If I will be covering maybe probably in some other session, sitting is half smoking. It's very dangerous continuously sitting. You are developing all the ailments. It's like almost smokers have the ailments, right? So that's a different thing we can cover. But that's why we advocate getting up every after 60 minutes.
Do we have any other questions from the participants? Any other doubts you want to clarify? Shahid bhai, in that case, shall we close today's interesting session?
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. So I think even the recording will be available, right? So in any URL.
Yeah, inshallah.
Yeah,
I'll just post the URL.
Yeah, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan kaseera, Sharif bhai, for your time. And mashallah, it was very informative session. I think a lot of learning from your session today. So while we are at home, we could know what you were doing in the office. It's a very interesting thing, mashallah. I think you shared some information about the WHO rules and all. I think we should go there and try to get more information. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Shukriya.
Assalamu alaikum. We can close that.
Walaikum assalam. And thanks to all the participants. And inshallah, we'll keep on arranging such nice and informative sessions in future also. Thanks to all of you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.